We're on the air, and it's race night tonight in Daytona Beach, Florida. Welcome everybody to the World Center of Racing, the Daytona International Speedway, for race number 15 of the 2024 season of the Winston All-American Series, the JEGS 300. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, lads of all ages, as we welcome you to the track with live coverage on the North American Sim Racing Network, and from high in the sky in the press box. My name is Trey Wright for the NASRN. 30 laps are on the docket for tonight's race around this 2.5 mile super speedway for the final race of the spring season of the WASP coming into tonight. It has been a little bit of a long season. For only 15 races, it's felt like it's been a little bit longer, but nonetheless, 6 drivers come into tonight with a mathematical shot of winning the championship. All of them separated by 110 points, and 5 of those 6 drivers separated by 52 points. Lucien Bianchi, Owen Miles, Roy Ribbleton, Nathan Orman, Riley Sampson, and Toby Murphy, your 6 drivers fighting for a championship tonight. Let's go down and meet those drivers, starting with your points leader, Lucien Bianchi, in the number 27 Goldfish Chevrolet Monte Carlo with 1,795 points, has an 18-point lead over Owen Miles. Bianchi has been quiet all season long, but just needs a good run tonight and needs to finish the highest of the 6 drivers to win the championship. An upset for the driver, for her, would be the first female champion on the North American Sim Racing Network, and she starts in the 19th spot. Then moving to Owen Miles, the highest starting driver of the 6th, starting in that 5th spot. 3 wins on the season, the most in the inaugural season of the Winston All-American Series, and he finds himself back in the thick of it. 18 points behind Lucien Bianchi, and for Owen Miles to win the championship here tonight, he needs to finish 4 positions ahead of Lucien Bianchi and ahead of everybody else, and he is the champion. He has a fragile lead over Roy Ribbleton in the 95. For the past 14 races, it looked like Roy Ribbleton was the odds-on favorite to win the championship. Consistency was the key, and keeping that safety clean, number 95 clean all throughout the season was the key. Ribbleton being involved in only 1 accident this entire season. That little small hiccup at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, but a couple of poor runs have put him back 3rd in the point standings, 23 points behind Bianchi, 5 behind Owen Miles. That safety clean Dodge Charger starting the deepest of the championship drivers in the 25th spot, but we're at Daytona. Your starting position does not matter. It only matters how you navigate through the draft, the cycle, and around the big one, and where you end up finishing in this race. And Roy Ribbleton has been the most consistent. While he doesn't have a win this season, consistency has been the key. 3 top 5s, 7 top 10s, the most besides Toby Murphy. Both those drivers tied for the amount of top 10s, both with 7 apiece, but that 95 has been the most consistent of these drivers. Then moving down to Nathan Orman, the winner at the Papyrus Motorsports Park yesterday for the Duncan Grand Prix of New England. Coming off that, he had a good start to the weekend. He wants to keep the good times rolling, this time driving in the number 88 Old Spice Ford Taurus. Orman, a little bit of a taller task, 45 points behind Bianchi, 22 behind Ribbleton. Orman just needs to finish 5 positions ahead of the 27 and just any position ahead of the 99, and he is the champion. Orman starts in the 11th spot. Then going to Riley Sampson. Him and Owen Miles got caught up in an accident yesterday, and Riley Sampson had a hellacious crash up a Papyrus, flipping over about 10 different times on the back straightaway, but he was okay, and he is ready to look for redemption. Sampson has not had a good stretch of races, and he falls down to 5th in the point standings, 52 points behind Lucien Bianchi to win the championship. Riley is going to need to finish 11 spots ahead of the 27, and everybody else to be at least 10 spots back, as he is 22 points behind Nathan Orman. So Riley Sampson, a little bit of a taller task for him, and he starts 21st on the grid. Finally, the biggest long shot to win the championship, somebody that we have barely seen all season long, but he has been in the thick of it. Toby Murphy The number 69 Viagra Dodge Charger, 110 points behind Lucien Bianchi and 58 points behind Riley Sampson. And for Murphy to win the championship, he needs to finish a whopping 23 positions ahead of Lucien Bianchi and pretty much everybody to just have a poor finish. So Toby Murphy needs a miracle to happen, but we are at Daytona, the biggest wild card track on the schedule other than Talladega, and anything can happen here at the 2.5 miles that make up the world center of racing. But the championship battle is now, and this is right now. It's that time of the broadcast again, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go down trackside to get the most famous words in motorsports to kick off the season finale of the Winston All-American Series, the JEGS 300 from Daytona.
Drivers, start your engines!
The engines roar to life on the pit lane here at Daytona. All 42 cars coming alive here to take the formation lap. He might not be, his brother is fighting for a championship, but Cole Sampson is on the pole in the number 26 AutoZone Monte Carlo. To his outside, Chris Reynolds, your winner at Oregon back a couple of weeks ago. Row 2, Kasumi Takashi had a rough season in the 62. Couple of violent wrecks for her. She is looking for redemption. Donnie Fallington to her outside, and the row 3, Owen Miles in the number 99 Waffle House Pontiac. The inside of Trey Smith in the 28. There are your other championship drivers. Nathan Orman in the 88. Toby Murphy in the 69. Lucien Bianchi, your points leader. And Roy Ribbleton in the 95. And then in between those, Riley Sampson in the number 10 car. As the field rolls down the back straightaway, everybody rolling off. Go down to your race analysis, your final race analysis of the spring season. Like we said, it's going to be a 30-lap race around the 2.5-mile super speedway that makes up Daytona. No pit stops on the docket, 30 degrees of banking, all gas, no brakes here to make up the hallowed ground of the Daytona International Speedway. It doesn't matter that it's the finale and hardly anybody's fighting for the championship. All these drivers want to win here tonight, and they will do anything to end up in Gatorade victory lane. But the big one, the cycling, the draft, the pomp and circumstance, and the championship, all coming down to a 30-lap dash under the lights in Daytona Beach, Florida. Pace car makes its way down the pit lane. 6 drivers, 30 laps, 1 championship, green flag in the air, and we are live here for the season finale at Daytona. Lap number 1, Owen Miles driving it like he stole it, and he is leading a lap. That's 5 bonus points for the 99. So that is going to come into play here tonight. Skylar Taylor in the number 34 right behind him, and we're at Speedway Physics Daytona, so it takes a little bit of time for them to start cycling. But Owen Miles up to the charge. He is out front in that 99. You know, watch Nathan Orman there fighting for that 6th spot, going underneath the 2 car of Reggie Fogelman. Toby Murphy behind him and Lucien Bianchi in tow. Owen Miles coming up in the 10. And leading lap number 2, Owen Miles. Skylar Taylor gonna get punted out of the line by Tristan Roshwalski. And it's 2 straight laps led for the 99, but you don't want to show your hand early. But it's good that Owen Miles has 5 bonus points in his pocket. But Orman is coming, same with Bianchi. Both those drivers taking advantage of starting on that inside lane. And Orman already making a name for himself down to the inside of Rushwolski. Looking for that 3rd spot as Skylar Taylor to the inside of Owen Miles to take the lead. Taylor out front. Going up high to block the 99. Orman down low. A shot in the rear from the 33 at the stripe. Taylor will barely lead that lap. Orman will go to the point, but how long is he able to stay there? And Miles is going to be shuffled back on that outside lane. Same with Lucy and Bianchi. Orman out front. He protects the high lane. Durrani goes down low. Now Vincent Jr. in the 33. Your Willow Springs winner in the Flowmaster Grand Touring Championship in February, ducks down to the inside. While 6 drivers are fighting for a championship, there's still 42 drivers, or rather 38 or 36 other drivers still fighting for a win. And Mike Vincent Jr. out front, 3 wide. Riley Sampson in the middle in the number 10. Owen Miles starting to fall back in the 99. Now Roy Ribbleton making his way towards the front. All 6 drivers have tasted the inside of the top 5. And they're really starting to pack things in. 3 abreast, 5 rows deep. And 5 out of 6 championship eligible drivers in the thick of this. Can see almost all of them in the frame right here, focusing on Riley Sampson in the 10. And again, they can do 3 wide here at Daytona. It's 4 wide where you have to be worried about. Right now, Lucy and Bianchi, that is the battle for the lead, or the championship rather. Owen Miles trying to fight his way through traffic. Right now, as it stands, Roy Ribbleton in the 95 would be the champion if the checkered flag were to fall right now. Eric Monaco, car number 1 in position number 1. Rogel Dorn 2 is inside. Both those drivers winless this season. Your winner last race at Rockingham, currently rocking P3, going for 2nd. Alex Lozano fighting for 3rd. Behind him is Bradley Ream. And Rogel Dorn fighting with that 1 car side by side down into turn number 3. Logan Williams, your Charlotte winner, trying to start a lane on the outside to make it 3 wide, but he's not going to get any help. Wheel to wheel at the line. Dorn is going to get it by a couple thousandths of a second over Monaco. And every championship eligible driver on that outside lane. 3 wide for 2nd. Oskin goes to the front. Ribbleton still in the catbird seat to win this championship. Orman stuck high. Same with the 10, the 99, and the 27, and the 69. Filing it back down to 2 wide. Now it's 3 wide. In the middle of that is Orman and Riley Sampson. It's Buchanan, your Indianapolis winner, going down low in the 14. Back up front, Lozano will lead it by half a car length over Bradley Ream. Ream will go to the point in the Old Bay 19 Ford Taurus. There's 3 wide for 3rd is Logan Alexander, the man who started the trips to victory lane at Michigan back in January. Or in February, rather. Or it was January. It was late January when Logan Alexander went to victory lane at Michigan, looking to bookend the season in the victory circle. Rich Roy, it's been a tough season for him. He'll go to the inside of Alexander. Ribbleton now starting to fall back in the 95. Riley Sampson, first car in the championship hunt, to the inside. Bianchi falling way back in the 27. So it's still Ribbleton who's in the championship slot at the moment. So we're already a 1/3 of the way next time by through the JEGS 300. Again, a 30-lap dash. But still, chaos can happen aplenty here. So they're still side by side for the race lead. Brad Stover in the 98. Looking for third underneath Danny Fadlington, your Thornton winner. I feel like that Thornton race was a million years ago. 3 wide for the race lead. Brad Stover will take it. Jana Fogelman right behind him. Fogelman will now go to the inside. It's the front of this field starting to fervorously cycle here. Fastest lap belongs to Tyreek Hartman. The only championship driver with bonus points is the 99 of Owen Miles. But right now, Miles falling deep in the field. You see that neon black and yellow Waffle House Pontiac. 28th that time by as Roy Ribbleton has found his way back to the inside lane, and they're starting to get really dicey. As Ribbleton will go for third underneath the 3. Stapleton and Sandoval starting to fight for that top spot. Stapleton will take it. We'll see if the 95 is able to get around the 5 before they reach the stripe. Instead, Ribbleton will move up high, will stay in the tire tracks of Stapleton. And now he'll move up high. Caleb Rose trying to fit his way through a hole between the 95 and the 96. Rose wisely thinks better of it. There's single file for the first 4 positions and 3 wide in the back. And it's a murder hornet's nest from 15th on back to this field. Bianchi now finally finding that inside lane as she begins to trek forward. Stover going high, and this is where the recipe for disaster starts to come into play as we approach the halfway point in the season finale. Ribbleton stuck up on that high lane. It's exactly what Bianchi wants to see. Ormond is coming alive in the 88. He is chugging to the front. But it's not going to be enough to win him the championship at the moment. He needs Bianchi to be stuck up on that outside lane. And Ribbleton really falling back in the 95. That outside lane does not work here at Daytona. And now the point swing that time by Bianchi back in championship position. Miles is really far back, and he's in the middle lane trying to get down to the inside as Dylan Matthews goes to the point in the 44. Next time by the halfway point through the WAS Championship. Bianchi now to the inside. Ribbleton really starting to fall back in the 95, and Bianchi starting to come alive in the 27. At the stripe, cross flags halfway home through the spring finale of the Winston All-American Series. Dylan Matthews out front here in the 44. And if he leads one more lap, he will have the most laps led. He's led 2 laps in a row. Nathan Orman wants to challenge that. Chris Reynolds pushing the 44 out front. Orman with a charge to the inside. Look at Bianchi pushing the 25 to that 4th spot. Orman pushing the 44, and Dylan Matthews with his 3rd consecutive lap led has the most laps led bonus. And that takes it out of Owen Miles. They would have a tie for the most laps led. But now Dylan Matthews with the most led at 3. And Owen Miles needs to start chugging up in that 99, but he's got a long way to go and a short time to get there. And up front, Bianchi pushing Nathan Orman to that 1st spot. Orman will go to the race lead, and he will get 5 bonus points for leading lap 17. Bianchi will try and get around him. Ribbleton's starting to fall back. He might be a non-factor. Lucienne Bianchi looking to become the first female champion in North American Sim Racing Network history, and she goes to the inside of Nathan Orman. The battle for the championship heating up. And Bianchi trying to make Owen Miles' job and everybody else's job just that much more difficult at the stripe. Bianchi with a block down low, 5 bonus points for the driver of the 27. And she is blocking both lanes at once. She is super aggressive right now. Cole Sampson trying to get around her. Orman will fall back, but Bianchi is going to fall back in the 27. That's going to play into the favor of Owen Miles, but Miles right now, he is in that inside lane, and Miles is coming. However, Miles now needs to finish 5 spots ahead of Bianchi to win this championship. He's on the inside lane. Now Bianchi leads yet another lap. 11 laps to go, and she continues to control the pace of this race, and they're 3 wide for the majority of this field. In case you were just tuning in, Lucienne Bianchi, the points leader coming into tonight, out front here at Daytona. Down low, and as she leads another lap, she will get 5 more bonus points for leading the most laps. She'll lead her 3rd consecutive lap with 10 laps to go. If she leads another one, that's 5 more points for her. But Skylar Taylor says another thing coming, and Bianchi falling back in the 27. Owen Miles now chugging to the front into the Waffle House 99. Remember, it's an 18-point deficit between Miles and Bianchi. And Bianchi stuck on the high lane of 3 wide. And this is going to play into the favor of Owen Miles. If Miles can get up here in the next 5 or so laps and just stay up there, Miles will be the favorite to win the championship. Bianchi trying to make a 3rd lane work, but barely anybody is going with her. She still has the most laps led bonus, sharing that with Dylan Matthews. Miles trying to lead his 3rd lap of the race, and trying to make it a 3-way bonus as they're nearly 4 wide to the corner. Miles is now past the 27, that inside lane going to work. Skylar Taylor now out front. I believe that was Skylar Taylor's 3rd lap led of the race. So if Taylor leads another lap, I think she'll have the most lead bonus. Now going to the inside of Skylar Taylor goes to 33. Riley Sampson trying to go to work as well. Bianchi starting to fall back, but Miles is behind the 10. Now Bianchi back down to the inside. She knows she's fighting for a championship. Miles trying to find a lane, and he is, I don't know why he's going to the outside, but Bianchi is going to go past Owen Miles in the 99. Miles stuck in the middle. Bianchi back into 3rd. 6.5 laps to go in the spring season. Bianchi now tandem drafting with the one of Eric Monaco. This time by 6 laps to go. Bianchi looking for a championship down to the inside of Vincent Jr. She goes, looking for 2nd. Monaco back out front. Bianchi goes up high. Back down low she goes. Cole Sampson back in the fray. Owen Miles starting to fall back. Same with a 10 of Riley Sampson. Bianchi going for the race lead. down underneath Monaco. Stapleton right behind her, coming around to 5 laps to go in the spring season of the Winston All-American Series. Bianchi looking to lead her 4th lap of the evening, and she will 5 laps to go from Daytona. With 4 laps led, she has the most. Riley Sampson back on that inside lane. Now Bianchi moving up high. Nathan Stapleton will move to the inside of her to take the race lead. Stapleton has been snake bitten all season long, but it's good to see him out front here in the 5. Durrani will now move up to 2nd, 4 to go at the line. And Bianchi will fall back in that 27. Miles needs to get down to the inside. It might be too little too late for the 99. 4 cars, single file. Looking back, there's Roy Ribbleton in the 95. He's going to be a non-factor in this one unless these guys wreck. Same with Nathan Orman. It's not going to be 2 great days in a row. Donnie Fallington bringing up the rest of the field. Ryan Durrani now leads the field here. Here comes Riley Sampson coming around to 3 laps to go. Durrani already with a super speedway win under his belt at Talladega. Looking to go 2 for 2 on the plate tracks. Riley Sampson just trying to get up here. Bianchi starting to fall back in the 27. Remember, it's only a 52-point gap between Sampson and Bianchi. So if Bianchi falls back a lot in this 27 and Sampson stays where he is, actually Bianchi, I believe, has the most laps led. But Popsicle 6 in the air, 2 laps to go. Ryan Durrani looking to win the race. Nathan Stapleton looking to end the season off on a high note. And Riley Sampson looking for a championship. Now it's Stapleton to Big Staple, moving down low of the 12. Stapleton, I think he's actually led 3 laps, so this time around, would tie him with Bianchi. White flag in the air, one more time around the Daytona International Speedway. It's the bell lap of the inaugural season of the Winston All-American Series. Stapleton tying with Bianchi for the most laps led. And Bianchi's starting to fall back in the 27. Stapleton leads this time around. Bianchi's not going to have the most laps led bonus. Bianchi's starting to really fall back in that 27 car. Sampson starting to pull away. Bianchi falling back. But off of turn number 4, Durrani with one last chance, but Stapleton is going to get to the line in time. Nathan Stapleton will win the JEGS 300. And scoring. Sampson finished 3rd, Bianchi 15th. Let me do some quick math here. 15th place. So 3rd and 15th, that's 12. Where's my phone at? I think it might be Bianchi, but it might be Sampson's, because I believe that was Stapleton's 5th lap led. That's 60 points, but with the lap led, I think it's gonna be close, but I think Riley Sampson may have got the swing. Because again, Bianchi, she led 4 laps, but that was Stapleton's 5th lap led. So Bianchi, she came in, so she finishes 15th. This is why I wish I had a points table with me. But it's going to be close. It's going to be down to the wire between her and Riley Sampson. But taking a look at your full race standings, Nathan Stapleton, your race winner. Ryan Durrani, second. Riley Sampson, third. I don't believe Sampson led any laps, but a third place finish versus a 15th place spot. Bianchi fell so far back. But it's a that's a 60-point gap between Sampson and Bianchi, because every position's worth 5 laps, or 5 points, remember. And it was a 52-point gap, but she had the 5 bonus points. I think it should be around the 3 to 5 point mark. I think it should be Riley Sampson, your champion. But we'll take a look and see. But here's the rest of your results. Ribbleton fell back, so he's obviously not it. Same with, what's his face? Owen Miles. Tough break for Owen Miles at the end there. Orman was a non-factor. And then Toby Murphy. Where's Toby Murphy? Did he finish inside? Murphy actually finished 13th. But nonetheless, Nathan Stapleton is your winner. And let's go officially calculate the points, because it's going to be so freaking close, guys. But we'll go to your official point standings right now. I think Riley Sampson should have it, but we'll officially take a look here. And indeed, it is official. Riley Sampson, by 3 points, is your champion over Lucy and Bianchi. Stapleton leading that final lap of the race to win it was the difference maker at the end. Bianchi, heartbreaker there, thought she was going to win the championship, but fell back. And by 1 position, if Bianchi finished 15 point or 14th, she would have had the win over Riley Sampson. But also, if Stapleton didn't lead that lap, if it was Durrani who was a car length more, or a car length in front, it would be Lucy and Bianchi, the champion here. Owen Miles in third. Murphy with a good 4th place run. Nathan Orman falling down to 5th. And Roy Ribbleton down to 6th. But my goodness, talk about a dead heat for the championship. And again, that's the product that Daytona produces, is, you know, with the draft, with the cycle, especially with the green flag run throughout the entire race. Bianchi being on the short end of the stick with that, and Riley Sampson, to his credit, he was able to stay up there. And while he didn't lead any laps, didn't have to lead any sort of laps, he still ended up being just enough to beat Lucy and Bianchi by 1 position, 3 points on the track. But your top 10 in points: Sampson, Bianchi, Miles, Murphy, Orman, Ribbleton. Josh Harmon finishes the season on a relative high note, 7th in the point standings. Matthew Hubert 8th, Eric Monaco 9th, and Donnie Fallington 10th of the point standings. Juan Rodriguez, John Andrews, Bradley Ream, Brian Ferris, and Dylan Matthews. Your top 15, Nathan Stapleton with his win here tonight. It's better late than never. Stapleton 16th in the point standings. Rose, Vincent left, Danny Fallington, Skylar Taylor, your top 20. Cole Sampson rounds out your top 20, your top half of the field in the points. Alexander Fogelman, Stover, Vincent Jr., your top 25. Oskin, Buchanan, Rashwalski, Crown Jr., Lozano, your top 30. Fogelman, Sandoval, Roy, Dorn, Durrani, your top 35. Rashwalski, Hartman, Trey Smith, Reynolds, Will Parrish, Kasumi Takashi, and Logan Williams. Despite having 2 top 5 finishes and 2 top 10 finishes, finishing last in the point standings here this season. Taking a look at some official standings here. Most starts, nobody. Most wins by a wide margin. Owen Miles with his 3 wins on the season at Papyrus, Homestead, and Hillside. Owen Miles is just really good in New England, and surprisingly, he was knocked out in that crash in the Flowmaster GT Championship yesterday. Orman with 2. Those drivers, the only 2 drivers with multiple wins. And then Reynolds, Fallington, Alexander the other three. Most top fives, Nathan Orman was on it like Blue Bonnet this season. Then was Riley Sampson, which Sampson, Ribbleton, and Toby Murphy all having 7 top 10s. Donnie Fallington had the most poles this season, but it didn't really translate much of the championship. Most laps, Lucy and Bianchi. Again, she was just so good at staying out of trouble. In fact, I'm surprised that the 95 of Roy Ribbleton isn't on this list. I'm surprised Tristan Roszwalski is on this list. I think Ribbleton was caught up in more accidents than I initially thought. Most laps led Logan Alexander with 52 and Bianchi with the most miles. And then general statistics, fastest average, no surprise, a caution-free race at Daytona Speedway Physics. Slowest average was the Wreckfest that was the Superflow Showdown at Levi Strauss. Biggest margin, that's how chaotic this season was. The biggest margin of victory was less than half a second at Michigan with Logan Alexander, and the closest margin, 0.02 of a second, Logan Williams over Logan Alexander, the Logan and Logan show under the lights. Fastest pole and slowest pole, Daytona and North Wilkesboro respectively. Most lead changes, 28 for the Hooters 300 at Atlanta. The most leaders was the Hooters 300. Most yellows, no surprise, Levi Strauss. Most cars running. It was a lot. We had a lot of races this season in which we had like I was talking about in the middle of the show, where it was either a caution-free race and everybody finished the race, or it would just be a total wreck fest. Like we saw, that was the complete clown show at Papyrus. 25 DNFs in the rockauto.com, 200K. But that is going to do it. Season 1 in the books for the spring season of the Winston All-American Series. And I know a couple of you guys are wondering, why am I starting calling it the spring season? I do plan on bringing this series back in the fall, because here's what I'm thinking for right now. And thank you for sticking around for the tail end of this, because I want to explain things. I don't think I'm going to be bringing back NBCS for a 4th season. You know, going into my personal life, going into my personal schedule, you know, I'm calling high school baseball for my on-campus radio station again, going back into radio, so that's going to be taking up the majority of my time in May and June. June, also helping out with a buddy of mine with horse racing. Check out James Witherite on the 412 on YouTube. Check that out. July might be the only time I could realistically do anything related to that, but I've also got work at the Train Museum at Northlands, the Train Museum I work out, and then August I'm calling, doing commentary for the Jersey Pro League. In fact, just the Winston All-American Series and the Flowmaster GT Championship. I'm going to be honest, it was mostly just, you know, series is just keep my voice active, you know, just trying to bridge the gap between hockey and baseball. But ultimately, with baseball coming up, it's looking at like just the rest of my schedule. It's highly doubtful that season 4 of the Mission Barbecue Cup Series takes off. And, you know, that's not to say that FMGTC is going anywhere. That's still going to go as scheduled. And, you know, I really want to have a fall series, and I really want to bring the series back for season 3 next spring. I'm thinking about having, like, you know, be like a TV show. You have the spring season, and you have the fall season, and then summer is just, you know, it's tough. And that's the hard part about growing up. It's when, you know, you got responsibilities, you got life, and, you know, I want to do sports commentary for a living. You know, I want to do baseball, I want to do hockey, and ultimately NR and motorsports. It's kind of towards the bottom of the barrel when it comes to my priority list, but that's where I am, you know, really right now. And it was a pain in the neck just to get this season finished up. Me being sick, grades, schoolwork, and all that, me just kind of falling out of it, but we were able to get it done. Riley Sampson is the champion, and we'll be back for the fall of 2024, my senior year of college. Can't believe that it's already here after 4 years. I can't believe that the NBCS is already almost 4 years old, starting back in July of 2020, starting that up, and off from here we are, finishing up Season 1 of the Winston All-American Series, and I've been rambling on for about 10 minutes, it seems. But Flowmaster GT Championship going on as scheduled. Next race for that on 420, of course, in the great state of Colorado for the Coors Light Denver Grand Prix. That's going to be in about a month's time. And then that'll go on as scheduled and hopefully shooting for around the September mark to kick back the Winston All-American Series into gear. But things could change in the next couple of months. But the way things are looking right now, MBCS is probably not I'd say it's probably 25-75 not happening. It all just depends if people are able to paint their own cars. You know what? This is what I'll do. If you guys are able to paint your own cars, I'm not having to do everything. I'm not having to bust my neck doing all that. Then we'll probably try and get it out of the way. But just with baseball, horse racing, hockey, just all of that, I'm going to level with you guys. I really just don't think it's going to be on a high priority list for me going into, the summer before my senior year. Talk about internships, talk about me just trying to live my life and really just set myself up for, being an adult. I'm not going to lie. I've been out of the NR scene for about a year before start bringing back the WAS, and it's insane how young you guys are. I'm 21, pushing on 22 in about 8 months or so. Life comes at you fast, and you better don't blink or else you'll miss it. I feel like I've blinked and all of a sudden already 4 years past the pandemic, and it's like, holy crap. But enough of me rambling. Thank you all so much for tuning in to not only today's coverage, but coverage all season long of the Winston All-American Series. Congratulations to Nathan Stapleton for winning the race and Riley Sampson for winning the inaugural championship of the Winston All-American Series. And that's all I've got for you guys. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night, ladies and gentlemen. Your final point standings are right here, but from the Daytona International Speedway, or just my bedroom in Neshannock Station, New Jersey, on behalf of myself and the entire North American Sim Racing Network, thank you all so much for helping me get back into NR and FMGTC. It'll continue, and we're going to keep going here. Thank you all so much for tuning in to not only tonight, but every single race. I've been rambling on for about 20 minutes, it seems, so I'm going to let you guys go. Your final point standings are right here from Daytona Beach, Florida. On behalf of the North American Sim Racing Network, my name is Trey Wright. Have a great evening, folks.